In a remote village, there was an old abandoned house. It was known as the House of the Third Window. If you were ever passing by, you would notice two things. The first was the house's weathered exterior, which seemed to sag under the weight of its own decay. And second, the unsettling sight of only two windows visible from the road. But those who dared to venture closer would soon realize that the house had a secret. For those who looked through the second window from the inside of the house, they would see a third window. But when they peered into it, they would vanish without a trace, their screams echoing in the empty street. Salim, a young man known for his adventurous spirit, heard the whispers of the villagers about the mysterious house. Despite the warnings, his curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to explore the abandoned dwelling. One night, Salim set out to the house with only a small flashlight and a camera to document his experience. As darkness enveloped him, he cautiously approached the house. The only sounds were the rustling of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. He walked around the house, half expecting to find an entrance. But it seemed as though every window and door had been boarded up, sealed with a thick layer of dust. Just when he was about to give up, he noticed a small crack in one of the window boards. With a creak, it gave way, revealing a dark opening. Taking a deep breath, he squeezed through the gap and found himself inside the house. The interior was just as eerie as the exterior. Cobwebs hung from the corners and the floor was covered in a thick layer of dust, undisturbed for many years. As he moved through the rooms, the only sound was the squeak of his shoes on the wooden floor. Suddenly, he heard a noise that made him freeze, a faint sound like a whisper, but it seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. He tried to rationalize it, blaming it on the wind or perhaps an animal. He continued his exploration, venturing deeper into the heart of the house. That's when he saw it, a closed door at the end of a long corridor. The faint sound he had heard seemed to be coming from behind it. With a mix of fear and determination, he walked towards it. As he reached out to knock, the door swung open, revealing a dark room. Hesitantly, he stepped inside. The air in the room was heavy, making it hard to breathe, and the smell of decay filled his nostrils. In the center of the room was a window. It wasn't boarded up like the others. A sliver of moonlight peeked through, casting an eerie glow on the dusty floor. He walked towards it, his heart pounding in his chest. The closer he got, the more he felt a strange pull, an invisible force urging him to look through the window. With trembling hands, he pushed it open. But what he saw on the other side was not what he expected. Instead of the moonlit night he had imagined, he saw himself standing in the same room, except the figure was not alone. Behind him stood a tall, dark figure with a distorted face. Its eyes burned with an otherworldly light, and a twisted smile played on its lips, an upside-down smile that sent shivers down his spine. Salim screamed, stumbling back from the window. But as he did, he felt a hand on his shoulder, cold and lifeless, like touching a corpse. Turning around, he saw the same dark figure that he had seen in the window. It was standing right behind him, its presence suffocating him, stealing the air from his lungs. Panic surged through him. He tried to run, to escape the room, but his feet were rooted to the spot. He wanted to scream, to call for help, but no sound escaped his lips. All he could do was watch as the figure approached, its smile widening, revealing teeth that were far too sharp, far too long to belong to any human. And then everything went black. The last thing he saw was the upside-down smile, a chilling grin that promised unimaginable horrors. The next morning the villagers gathered outside the house. Their faces were etched with worry as they searched for any sign of Salim, but all they found was the abandoned camera. When they checked the photos, they saw the last picture he had taken, the one that had captured the unknown figure standing behind him. But in that image, there was something else, something sinister lurking in the shadows. And as they stared at the photo, they realized that they had been looking at it the wrong way. When they turned it upside down, a horrifying truth revealed itself. The figure wasn't standing behind Salim, it was him, or what was left of him. His body was twisted at an unnatural angle, his face contorted in a silent scream. And those sharp teeth, they belonged to him now. Or maybe they had always been his.